Alright guys, another week and we are back for some more Championship transfer rumours. Plenty to talk through in today's video. Drop all your thoughts in the comments down below on the two Championship playoff semi-finals we've just had as well. Cannot wait for that game at Wembley. Obviously we will be previewing that game in due course. But the main focus of today will be on the transfer news with a bit of managerial talk sprinkled in there as well. Speaking of the managerial talk, let's start out there and with David Wagner, who has been sacked by Norwich City. I think we all knew this one was coming off the back of that second leg performance. Norwich absolutely fell apart at Ellen Road, losing 4-0. I think it's fair to say that this whole season has been a campaign of ups and downs for Norwich. There was one point of the season where it really seemed like Wagner had lost things, managed to turn things back around in fairness to him and secure that place in the top six. But long term, was he the right man for Norwich? I think there have been constant doubts throughout the season over that. And to be honest, if they weren't promoted via the playoffs, I think it was probably the most likely outcome that Norwich were going to make a change this summer. Norwich fans, what's your reaction to that news? And who would you like to see coming in next? Bit more managerial news. We saw Liam Rosenior being heavily tipped to take over at Plymouth, but it's now been reported that he's turned down the chance to take over at Home Park. The former Hull boss looking for his next opportunity. This would have been a chance for him to jump straight back into the Championship, but seems as if Rosenior will be biding his time for the time being, and from Plymouth's perspective, looks like they'll be seeking out alternate targets. Speaking of Hull City, it's looking more than likely that Tim Walter will be their new manager. The German coach who was most recently in charge of Hamburg went very close to promotion to the Bundesliga on a few occasions with the German club, just wasn't quite able to get them over the line. It's an interesting appointment. Obviously the ownership there made quite the bold decision to get rid of Rosenior the other week, and it seems as if Walter's their next man. That's all the managerial talk for now though. Let's jump into some transfer rumours. One done deal that I have to commend Rotherham for is getting a deal for Johnson Clark-Harris over the line this quickly. Dare I say it, I think that Rotherham might have more pull in the transfer market as a League One club rather than they do in the Championship, which I find quite interesting. But Clark-Harris going in at Rotherham with Steve Evans being there, I think he understands that they're likely to be near the top of League One next season, and moving that fast for the Peterborough striker, obviously getting him on a free transfer, I think it's good business all round from the Millers. Looking forward to seeing how many goals he bags for them next season. Speaking of Rotherham, one player that will be leaving them this summer is Victor Johansson, and it seems as if Stoke have won the race for the goalkeeper. The Potters have triggered his release clause, and it looks as if a deal is in place to go ahead and snap him up. I think this is a fantastic bit of business from Stoke, I really do. Johansson, despite the relegation this season and being part of a struggling Rotherham side, over these last couple of seasons he's been one of the most consistent goalkeepers in the Championship, certainly from a shot stopping perspective, and the goalkeeping role has been a bit of a problem position for Stoke in years gone by. They've had a lot of stop gaps in that position where they've usually tended to go towards the loan market to get someone in, but having someone on a permanent basis like Johansson, who is a really consistent and reliable shot stopper, I think is good news for Stoke going forward. Really impressive as well that they've managed to fend off a number of other Championship clubs who are no doubt interested in the goalkeeper. No doubt they'll be paying him a decent wage to get him into the Bet365 stadium. Obviously it is this time of the year where the retained lists are being released by clubs up and down the country, and quite a bit of interest has been piqued by Championship clubs when looking at the retained list of Sheffield United, because the Blades have let go of quite a few high profile Championship players that no doubt will be in high demand this summer. Probably the most notable name that the Blades have let go is Ollie Norwood, a player who knows the Championship like the back of his hand, multiple promotions on his CV, and I'd imagine would be at the top of quite a few Championship clubs lists to go ahead and snap up this summer. Along with Norwood, you've also got the likes of George Baldock, Wes Foderingham, Max Lowe and Chris Basham, who are all being released by Sheffield United this summer as well, all of which I'd imagine would probably end up back in the Championship somewhere. Have a feeling we're going to be talking about Sammie Szmodics a lot on the channel over these next few weeks and months, but it's now being reported that Leicester are preparing to make a formal offer for the Blackburn attacking midfielder, coming off the back of an absolutely exceptional season where he has won the Golden Boot and, let's face it, almost single-handedly kept Blackburn in the Championship this season. Now, it is being reported that Blackburn value Szmodics at around 20 million. I do think they do well to get that sort of money for him, given his age and the fact that he's only really had one outstanding season. But with that being said, with a number of other clubs also being in the race to sign him, that can only be good news for Blackburn. Along with Leicester, we've also seen the likes of Everton and Luton being linked with the attacking midfielder in weeks gone by. Blackburn are in a strong position to negotiate his value, I suppose, because he is on a long-term contract, so no fears of losing him at the end of next season on a free transfer or anything like that. If Leicester do indeed submit a formal offer, I'd be very interested to see what their opening offer would be, what sort of money that would be around. It looks as if Middlesbrough have got their first signing of the summer almost wrapped up, with Luke Ayling set to join from Leeds United. Obviously, the defender did spend the second half of the season on loan at the Riverside. Had a really strong end to this season as well. Got 8 assists in the end in 19 appearances for Michael Carrick's side. 32 years old, adds a decent amount of experience to that back line. I think this deal all round is a good one. Also worth noting as well that Sheffield United were said to be sniffing around Ayling, but it seems as if Borough have beaten them to the punch with this one. One way or another, Che Adams will be playing Premier League football next season, it seems. The likes of Wolves, Everton and Leeds United all sniffing around the Southampton star. Obviously, it's common knowledge that Adams is out of contract at the end of the season and looks as if a number of clubs will be battling for his signature. In terms of Leeds being interested, that would require them being promoted to the Premier League, you'd imagine, to go ahead and get that deal over the line. Wolves have been quite long-term admirers of Adams and seemingly are going to rekindle their interest in him in the summer once again. Bit of an interesting transfer line relating to Kyle Walker-Peters as well. Tottenham have been tipped to swoop back in for the fullback. He's obviously been excellent in the Championship for Southampton this season. Definitely Premier League quality, no question about that whatsoever. He's under contract with Southampton until the summer of 2025, so will soon be entering the final year of that deal. Saints fans, be very interested to know from you, what would you value Walker-Peters at? He's definitely one of, if not the most valuable assets in that squad, and Southampton definitely won't want to lose him on the cheap. But when a club like Spurs does come calling, it can be difficult to turn them down, especially if the player has their head turned. But there we have it, guys, a quick little update for you today of some of the latest transfer rumours that I've seen going around the Championship. Any others that we didn't mention in today's video, make sure to get them in the comments down below. Loads of content to come on the channel over these next few weeks and months, as the transfer rumours will no doubt continue to flood in. Your best way to stay updated with all the news in the Championship is right here, so make sure to stay tuned and subscribe for more. Other than that though, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.